So in case you didn't know, Persona 3 FES, or FES, or however you say it, is one of my favorite games ever. The characters are great, the story is amazing, and just the general vibe is one of my favorites in any game. The main thing that holds this game back compared to Persona 5 Royal to me is its dated gameplay. Persona 3 Portable fixed a lot of that. It has much better gameplay, but the story took quite a bit of a hit. Well, not really the story itself, but just how it's presented, since the vibe and like many story moments just don't hit as hard anymore. And I feel like Portable's visual changes subtract to me more than what the gameplay improvements add. And in general, Persona 3 is a hard game to recommend because there's not really a definitive version. All of them feel dated. Which is why I am ecstatic that they are finally remaking the game after years and years of rumors. Like, oh my gosh. I just wanted to gush about it for a bit. This is going to be completely unscripted. I don't know if I'm even going to upload this or even keep it uploaded. I might unlist it later. But I just want to gush. The game looks really, really good. Part of the aesthetic kind of looks a tad off to me. Like, it almost feels fan-made, probably because it was made in Unreal Engine. But it's not a major gripe in the slightest. It looks incredible still. I've seen a lot of people complain about the UI in this game, saying it's too much like Persona 5. I get it, but I honestly think it could have been a lot worse. I think it still gives off Persona 3's vibe well enough, and it doesn't feel too Persona 5-like to me. I don't know. Again, it could have been worse. Also, that menu transition is the stuff of dreams. One thing I noticed, and just want to address in general, both Aigis on the Beach and Makoto's Awakening are supposed to be hand-drawn cutscenes in FES, but they are 3D cutscenes in this game. Not a huge deal, just something I noticed. And then I thought about it more, and at least to my knowledge, the main reason why anime cutscenes were cut in Portable is because of the female protagonist. They'd have to like completely reanimate those with her in there. And with this, it would be a lot easier to add female protagonist in here, since you just like model swap, add a few different animations. It is a lot easier than like completely redrawing a hand-drawn cutscene. This is important to note because I've seen a lot of people have their concerns about the female protagonist not being in the game. And it is weird they didn't show her, but at least in my mind, there is no way they're not putting her in the game at some point. Maybe it'll be in another trailer, maybe it'll be DLC later down the road, but she's gonna be in the game. I have no doubts about that. If she wasn't, that would be a huge bummer. Female protagonist is very flawed in Portable, but even then it is a really good addition, and it would suck to not see it in Reloaded. And it would also suck because even after this, there would still be no definitive Persona 3, which is kind of the reason why we all wanted this. Another thing I want to bring up is this scene with Makoto and Yukari in the kitchen. This was not in FES or Portable or Original, so this is probably some sort of new content. I don't know if the new content in this game will just be small scenes like this, or there'll be some other huge thing, but I don't know. Persona 5 Royal added a whole new dungeon during the third semester, and is by far its biggest new addition. And its reception is really, really positive. People say it's one of, if not the best part of the game, and I can completely vouch for that. That is a series first, by the way. Persona 4 Golden also had a new dungeon, and it is not good, and neither is the new character they added. Persona 3 FES added a new epilogue, and it is also not good. And Persona 3 Portable, look, if I listed all the controversies with Persona 3 Portable, we'd be here all day. Persona 2's remakes don't really have any new content to my knowledge, but I'm also not really knowledgeable on them at all. But Persona 1 had a brand new soundtrack to its remake, and it doesn't really fit that well with its themes from what I've heard. It's mostly just, oh, let's add a new soundtrack more akin to 3 and 4. So any new content in this version will either be solid enough or the worst part of the game. One concern I have is that both Junpei and Aigis are probably going to have to be recasted, since both the voice actors have done not great things to my knowledge, and characters they voiced for years have already been recasted. So I don't expect them to bring them back here or even reuse their old lines. Aigis in particular really bums me out since she's like the most important character in the game aside from the protagonist. Junpei's obviously a bummer too, but he's just funny, man. Aegis is very essential to Persona 3 as a whole. But hopefully whatever actors they get will do a killer job, and with the characters with voice actors that aren't canceled, I have no idea if they're gonna reuse their lines or if they're gonna re-record new ones. I don't know. Persona 3 has very infamously bad voice acting at points, but I kind of like it. It's very like 2000s RPG voice acting charm. It's like bad, but in a charming way. But if they do re-record the lines, then preferably they'd make them like good. One other thing I should probably bring up is it seems to be an Xbox exclusive, or at the very least a timed one. I mean, it's on PC as well, so you don't really need an Xbox, but PlayStation owners, L. Which on one hand is a shame. I definitely bought my PS5 expecting to play Persona 6 or whatever new Persona there'd be on there. Though I got Spider-Man and Final Fantasy 7, so I'm good. But at the same time, I just find this really, really funny. Persona has been on nothing but PlayStation for the longest time. It then becomes multi-platform, and now it's an Xbox exclusive. It's just those weird Persona 5 for the Xbox memes, except that's actually reality. So yeah, Persona 3 is one of my favorite experiences ever, but there's never really been a definitive way to experience it. If this version's atmosphere and storytelling are on par with Fez, while also having Portable's gameplay and quality of life features, without any other Atlas BS that they might just put in to make it worse, this could be my favorite game of all time. I am ecstatic for this game. I can't believe it's coming out this soon. It's crazy that Atlas isn't announcing games like 5 years in advance for their release, because they've been really bad with that lately, and I think they're learning their lesson from Persona 5 and Shin Megami Tensei 5. So yeah, early 2024. Can't come sooner. And that's about it. Also, in case you didn't see my community post, work has been really, really busy lately and has only gotten busier for me. So I haven't had a lot of free time to make videos. This being a more casual, lightly edited video should make it way easier to release, but some of my more edited content will take longer. I haven't had the energy to work on content recently, but hopefully that'll change soon. I have recorded stuff. So yeah, new content will come out, just I don't know when. All right, that's about all. Play this game when it comes out. I am really hoping it's going to be great. I am ecstatic for it, but it is Atlas, so they might find some way to mess it up. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. All right, see ya.